Well, this 7-year-old boy was taken from his home here in Craigmore in Adelaide's northern suburbs to the Lyle McEwen Hospital by his dad, and he was so sick he was then transferred to the Women's and Children's Hospital, and then he died shortly after that. A coronial investigation was then launched into this boy's death, and police then figured they had enough information to make this a criminal investigation, and they're treating it as a case of suspected criminal neglect causing death. Not only are they looking into this death, but also the possible criminal neglect of this boy's 5 siblings, aged between 7 and 16. Now, the ABC has spoken to the family of this young boy, who has given us permission to name him. His name is Mackay, he's 7 years old, and they would also like us to acknowledge that he is a Kaurna Aboriginal boy. Now, police spoke about this death earlier today, saying that they are treating it as, suspected criminal neglect. We heard from Detective Superintendent Des Bray. Take a listen.
The role of the investigators in this case will be obviously to review whether anybody is culpable criminally. Essentially, a case of criminal neglect occurs when a person who has a duty of care to a child fails to take all reasonable steps to protect the child from harm, and the child dies or is harmed as a result of that neglect, and the neglect is so serious that it warrants a criminal sanction.
As you mentioned earlier, this follows the death of 6-year-old Charlie in Adelaide's northern suburbs as well. She died of suspected criminal neglect too, just a couple of weeks ago. And after that death, the SA Police launched Taskforce Prime, and they're now using that same task force to investigate the death of this 7-year-old boy. And police say one of the reasons for that is because similar government agencies were involved with the families of both of those children, and we know that includes the Department of Child Protection. Police wouldn't say how many notes or interactions they had with this young boy Mackay and his family, other than to say it was a lot. Now, anyone who might know Mackay and his situation is being urged by police to contact Crime Stoppers.